Good day, sir. Jarvis at your service. How may I help you today?
Can you check if I have an appointment on 17th of August around 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
Certainly, sir. Allow me to check your calendar for any appointments scheduled on the 17th of August between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. I shall retrieve that information for you shortly. I have located your schedule for the 17th of August, sir. You have an event titled Rudranch's birthday during that time, which will take place at Vrundavan Pure Veg located at Mulshi Road, near Manas Saror, Bukum, Maharashtra. If you require further details or assistance, please let me know.
So this was just an example of how FlowMattic MCP Server can help you with ElevenLabs. Let's explore the setup we just did. So this is our MCP server. As you can see, the last interaction was just 23 seconds ago. Let's see how it executed the tool, the last one. So as we have set up the start date time and end date time for this event. For this tool to be executed in Google Sheet call in the events. So this is the info that MCP client or the ElevenLabs sent to us. And this is the response we generated for it. Let's explore the entire MCP tool setup. Cool. Okay, this is what we have set up, just for the Google Calendar events. We used a workflow called Google Calendar Events for this setup, and we set up just 2 parameters here. As you can see, the setup is just as easy as it looks. You just need to click Add Parameter for your MCP tool and give the parameter a name. And it will be available in the MCP server for your MCP client to use. Let's see how the workflow set up. Okay, so this is our trigger. As you can see, we have a custom trigger for MCP server execution. It will help you identify which workflows are set up with MCP. The reason we set up this workflow instead of calling the individual apps is that it will help you reduce the number of API calls or reduce the number of MCP calls to your server. So as you can see, within this workflow, when MCP server call, MCP client calls your MCP tool, the call goes to your workflow. And in this response, it just sends the 2 parameters we have asked MCP to provide. And using these 2 parameters, we have set up the workflow. The first action we perform in this workflow is finding the availability within that time frame provided by the MCP. Okay, so if we find the availability, then we fetch that particular calendar event during this same specific time. And then, if we have an availability, we check if the time slot is available, and then we do respond accordingly. And if there is an event, or if there is a calendar event mapped to that particular time slot, we check if the time availability is false, and then generate another response, which we have just checked in ElevenLabs that the event is Rudranch's birthday, which is planned on 17th of August, as responded by the ElevenLabs. Now, let's see how the task history shows. As you can see, the 2 different task histories are there. This is for your identification of how the flow was executed and which actions were executed accordingly. And the MCP server execution history shows you the tools history. That is, how MCP clients send data to your FlowMattic MCP tool, and how MCP tool sent back the data to MCP client.